career on the roadside, and well, yeah, basically haven't got much experience with a T4, but we shall see. At the end of the day, it is an engine. It sucks, it squeezes, it bangs and it blows. So we've got to figure out what part of that it's not doing. I think it's already had some electrical things done, like a battery and circuit. Was it not? It wasn't an ECU, it was some sort of module she's had done. I'll go and have a poke around, see if we can figure out what's going on. Could be fueling, could be electric, could be mobilised. Be interesting if I can find out what's going on. I'm really hoping that my camera microphone is behaving itself, because one of the last videos I did was a little bit crackly. I think just where it was rattling about in the holder. So my apologies if it's poor audio quality. This roundabout can be a right pain. There's a yellow van. Must be that one. X-Ridge. So yeah, I think we'd class that as a modern classic, wouldn't we? Here she is. And we've got issues. Because when we put the ignition on, we get no engine light, no glow plug light. And when you crank, got flashing oil light there as well, look. You crank it, don't get any movement from that rev counter over there. Something fishy going on here. Right, well, I found the reason why it's not starting. There could be more underlying issues, but it's the main ECU relay. I've taken it apart as well. I can't actually see why it's not working, because all the solder joints look okay. But it's just not engaging when I put power to it. I can show you how I test this if you want. Okay, how I test it, I've got my meter here, which I've been meaning to show people actually, because someone wanted to know. This meter here is a Robin multimeter. A lot of multimeters have got this A hole down here. So if you move that red one over there, it basically gives you a link. So if I was to then put that onto the live of the battery, this red wire then becomes alive, basically. So if I shove that in there, I know it seems a bit heathen putting a black wire onto the positive, but if I put you around here, hopefully you can see how I am testing this relay. I mean, really all you need is a 9-volt battery, but so I've got pin 85, which is earth. And then this one here is normally 86, but it says KA on it for some reason. So what I do, I can put 85 onto that earth there. And then here we can probe. And it should click. But we're not getting it clicking. It's not clicking into action. So that tells me this relay is faulty. And then, to prove it, if I go into here, hopefully you can see in the fuse box, right, if I put, now this is relay number 3, the engine one, okay, so we've got battery live, which is 30, okay, so if we stick one of the probes in there, that's like probing the positive battery terminal basically, and then with a fused probe you want to go around, let's put that in there. If I go to then pin 87, that puts power to that. So I put the ignition on, you now get the coil light and she starts. So just needs a new relay. There is other underlying issues which I can't really test at the minute because we need to get the relay done. The battery light's on, which is a bit worrying. As I say, we'll worry about that after the relay's sorted out. Wow, that was a nice one. I was going to say a quick job. I suppose it was quick. It was only about an hour to fiddle about with it all and figure out what was going on. The lady actually had a new clutch component fitted. I think it was probably a slave cylinder or something. And after she got it home from the garage, it's not started since, which is strange. But she just told me that relay I found not working, that's a new relay. Because someone told her old relay wasn't working. So I've just found her old relay and I've tested that, and both those relays aren't working. So I told her to get another one, get a genuine part this time, because I think that other one was a bit cheap. And try that and yeah, see how it goes. I mean, the battery light was on with it bypassed, but yeah, that could be, I'm not sure. We'll see. I said, first things first, get a relay that works. Then let me know how it goes. It'll either start and be absolutely fine, or it'll start and it'll have the battery light on, or it still won't start, which the plot thickens. Anyway, I'm going to get back home now. Well, it was certainly a relief when that van started anyway, so it just shows all the sort of important things and the expensive things are okay, you know? So the battery, the starter motor, the engine itself, the fuel pump, the injectors, you know, all that stuff was working. So it's just an electrical gremlin. Hopefully just the new relay needed. Fantastic. I mean, she could, you know, just sort of bypass that relay for now and drive the van. But it's a bit dodgy, and you risk sort of flattening the battery. And I say that battery light was on, it's a bit worrying. So yeah, new relay, and then we'll see how it goes. Quite enjoyed working on that van, you know. Although it was a little bit modern for me, it wasn't too modern. I must say though, the Haynes manual that she's got is absolutely rubbish, really. The wiring diagram is awful. It doesn't really tell you, you know, what the things are on there. You know, there's no sort of what's the word? Index to it. It's just a picture of a wiring diagram. It's like, oh, thanks for that, you know. I do like that they've resurfaced this road now. This used to be terrible. We're actually on the road that runs behind the new Gloucester services. It's a shame really that there's no way of getting into the Gloucester services from the back. There's no back way in. There's a staff entrance, but even then they're parked on a bit, you know, away from the services. They have to walk down. What I'm trying to say is it's a shame there's not a shortcut to the motorway coming this way. They're all going in there now. Oh, windy. It is cold and windy out today. That's the problem coming this way. There's sheep in the road and lambs. There we go. Come on, you lot.